Hello everyone, it's me, Rebecca. Remember the Booknester? I know I've been gone for a really long time this time. And you know, I can play the old card that I know everybody says when they come back, been extremely busy. Come to find out March and April are gonna be really busy in my job up here. And then we hit graduations. My son graduated from university. Woohoo! Very happy about that. My mother came to visit for 2 weeks. My family, my brother and niece came up for the graduation. So it's been a lot going on. And then of course we hit Mother's Day and more Memorial Day, and the gardening just took over because finally the weather broke. But that's why I'm here today. I suddenly realized you've not seen anything I've done since I teased you back in February, March, about talking about the garden, and the garden has taken off. It's not as much as I think people might be expecting because we're having to do a lot of the prelim work. And so that's what this video is going to be about. And then in another video that I just finished shooting outside, I'll take you in for my July kind of visit and look around and see what things are doing. So that's the plan. So we'll see if that works. But I'm really excited to share with you some of the work that we've been doing. Again, don't expect huge things because it is the first year. And if you remember the pictures from previous, there's nothing here other than, I mean, we had some trees that are planted, of course. But the first thing I'm going to take go after, and it's funny because it was the end of March and the snow was ridiculous. We were still getting snow in April this year. So it was pretty amazing for my first year, and now we're in the throes of summer. So come join me and see what I've done since March to June. It's all about in the garden and here at Rivercrest Cottage. So you're probably wondering, what was I just doing? When I went to put up the camera after doing the apple tree, I suddenly realized I could go and mark out what I was thinking of just this morning when I was sketching out what I might do with this area. Because the snow is going to leave the imprint, and I can take a picture of it and kind of see if it's a layout I might want to use, and also to get more of a perspective, because you know, using dot grids or graph paper, you don't always get the perspective of what it's going to look like. But that's what half the fun is with a brand new garden, is just letting your imagination go and start sketching things out. But I am a planner, and I want to be able to think ahead of time and see if there's any problems that I need to be adjusting for. So come on into my garden and we'll go wander around. So here we are looking into the garden, and I'm sorry I had to actually retape this because the wind was so bad. And the fact that you've been listening all this time with the wind, I appreciate it. But that's the old chicken wire from the old garden. But as we turn here, you're walking on the garden path. The square looking or rectangle that we're looking at and heading towards is going to be eventually my potting shed. Now remember, these are all dreams. And I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping it's going to be, I have it marked out as a 10 by 10, but I think it might be an 8 by 10 is the idea. And there to the left kind of area, that's going to be maybe like a cold frame. And then so we're going to turn around, that's as if we're walking out of the shed. So we've come out of the pottery shed and we're looking back. Oh gosh, there is still snow on the ground there, boy. And in there is a center island, and that's going to be an island bed is the idea. And then as we're looking over here, we're going to move around and come around to kind of an open area that I'm thinking that's going to be a place where we're going to have a couple little bistro chairs or whatever. It's where I come and sit and have my tea in the maybe morning or evening, not sure, or just taking a break when I'm working in the garden. And then as we continue going around, you're going to come around, and all this between the footprints that you see is the path, and then on the outside of the footprints
the island bed that's going to be there. That's going to be my borders, my flower beds that are going to go around. And you're going to kind of have these gentle curves, and hopefully the idea is that it'll kind of bring you in. And then, maybe have a large tree right there of some, not a huge tree because I can't let anything block the solar panel. And we're coming down through our little path, and so off to the left now is the island bed, and then your flower beds, and we're actually almost pretty much, there's the apple tree right there if you need some help. And so that's going to be a big flower bed right in here. Now, one of the things I'm planning on doing is using those sticks, as I said before. I'm hoping to use them as supports going forward. And as we continue walking, we're going to be we're back looking at the gate. We're looking back over at the potting shed, which hopefully will mask the solar panel. I love our solar panel. It's very, very useful, but it's not the prettiest thing in a garden. So on the outside of this of the railing, actually, I'm hoping to put in some willows because I would love to be able to use willow twigs as part of my garden supports and part of maybe even making some little fences around. So we would be looking back over towards the potting shed, and then we're coming towards the end here. Along this walk, and then there's going to be the gate, and then we're actually looking, there is a flower bed that's going to run in front of that fence right there as well, and maybe even on the other side. So and we're going, wow, okay, that was a little scary. We almost hit the post. So this is looking back. So this is a dream. Everything that I've put in so far has come up exactly as I expected. Yeah, nothing's up because I haven't put anything in. So but I have a bumper crop of sticks, and I will be collecting more. These are sticks that have just fallen from the ground, or fallen from the trees, and I've started gathering them. My husband thinks I'm insane because I went and collected them, but it's something to do, and that's kind of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this, the future garden. Maybe it was good to plan it out, kind of see it not on a dot grid, and see how it did. So hopefully that is going to work out, but it's nice to see the perspective a little bit more.
Hi everyone, I'm outside in this lovely spring weather. It is absolutely gorgeous out here though. The sky is a gorgeous blue, and other than that ripping wind that I'm sure you're probably hearing, it's pretty darn beautiful out here, but it does make a bit of a wind chill. So, but I had to come out because I need to start doing a few things, and because I'm going to do things slowly, it's probably going to take me a while. So number one, it is really bright with the sun beating off of the off of the snow. That's for the reason for the shades, not because I'm so cool, but because I'd have a headache probably within 10 minutes of being out here if I wasn't out here without them. So I'm going to do a bit of pruning on my little apple tree here. We had apples last year, but they appeared to have some form of scab, or I think it was bitter rot, I think is what I'm kind of guessing looking out. And one of the things is that this little tree has not been pruned in years, and it has a lot of crossing branches. There's not a lot of good circulation in it. So this is going to be my first attempt at pruning. I've got some heavier duty pruning probably to do a little bit later, so I'm just doing the little tiny tons of all these little branches. And they say to do it at the kind of late winter, and so I think this is about as late winter as you can call it. And I'm probably going to be doing another set on another day of bigger pruning in there, but we're going to just do some little ones that I thought you might want to watch as I do it. Again, it's just a gorgeous day, and I just thought, hey, you might want to come on out with me. And I'm a little nervous, so I need my friends along. So hopefully you're there helping me along. So here we go. it'll focus in on it maybe. Not 100% sure, but at the very ends of some of the tips here on my apple tree is little nibble parts. Nibble bits and bobs that have been nibbled on, and they've been nibbled on by my friendly little doe that we have, our resident doe here. She's a little deer that likes to walk through here. I often see her little footprints up to my apple tree and then little bite marks. You know, that's something that she loves the apples that's underneath. Now I have those huge apple trees over in the far corner, so she's actually on her way to those. And I'm going to keep those, definitely. I mean, they're gorgeous and they're way over there. To feed the wildlife and to maybe encourage her to pass on by and go to the buffet that is the apples. I never knew that deer love apples as much as they do up here in the north, because the apples fall in the fall, and she can eat them sometimes over the winter. I have not seen her in a while. I guess I'm out of apples, so she's moved on to something else, probably acorns somewhere. So the last time that we were looking at this tree, basically I had just started taking off suckers and any branches that were kind of crossing over each other, and then I thought I was doing a good thing by taking off any branches that were shooting straight up, and I didn't really pay attention to where I was making my cuts. So this whole bottom half of the tree over here, this section, from here down, I'm thinking of clearing out. And then I would have more of a trained tree and less. Now, apple trees are really beautiful when they're all snarly and they go in all different directions. I'm not really looking for this for the fruit. Again, remember, I'm more decorating my yard than making it producing. But I love the idea of having an apple tree, and maybe in the future I might know enough about it to be interested in getting the fruit off of it. But for now, it's about cleaning it up. And then maybe kind of like doing that, cutting off your hair and starting over with a fresh new tree. So I'm going to start with these lower limbs. Now what I have here is a Fiskars, oh, it has a little button, it's a little safety button, which is good. So safe, I can't get it. There we go. Handsaw. It's a pruner, it's 10 inches. Fiskars is one of the brands I really like for almost anything, including my scissors and almost all my gardening implements if I can find it. They've just done really well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go in and start sawing on this poor little thing. And we'll see what it looks like when I get finished. I'm also saving all my large branches and twigs. I'm hoping to use them in the garden for different supports, or I've also heard that if I kind of chop this little guy up, we can use him in our fire pit and it'll be nice smell of apple wood. So I'm kind of interested to see that as well. So I'm not sure if I hurt it or if I helped it. I do like the shape a little bit better. I think I'm going to leave the bottom branch that I have kind of sticking out for right now, just to kind of see what it's going to do. And see if I can get any side shoots maybe off on it. We have a lot of weight on this side, and then of course it kind of curves and goes backwards, but I don't know if that's because it's on a hill, if it looks like that. But I kind of want a nice canopy. Again, this is right in my yard. It's, you know, it's right next to our fire pit here. We're gonna have a picnic table hopefully right over here, so I kind of want that. I also like, because it's across from another tree that I have my bird feeders in, and a lot of the birds that come in here into that bird feeder in the summer also like to hide in this tree over here, so it's kind of nice because otherwise it's pretty open for them. So it might encourage a little bit more birds here in front of my kitchen windows. Oh gosh, wow. Okay, let's put this away because this is not safe. Fingers crossed I didn't hurt it too bad. So now on to the rest of my jobs. So as you can tell, there's still some snow. It is melting. Luckily we have seen our first robins. I'm so excited about that. But I'm still needing to work down in my basement, so I carried a whole bunch of stuff out of the house and brought it around to here to then take downstairs. It's like a two-part job: carried out of the house, take it downstairs. Boy, I need to put this down. I just flip this all around, don't I? But I need to go down and put these away and put all the stuff that I got. And as I go down, I was thinking I'd show you some of the stuff that I'm taking down there and what I'm thinking of using it for. There's also one of my big things I'm really excited about, and I'll tell you about it as I go take everything downstairs. And I know I'm avoiding it, I got to get down there and work on those boxes. This is my brainy idea, and I really need to get myself down there and start working on it. So come on, let's go around the corner. Alright, this is the thing that I'm probably most excited about showing you. I'm hoping that you can see it. So there's 4 of these. These are actually fire rings. They're galvanized fire rings. They're about 36 inches in diameter, or circumference. Well, diameter too. Anyway, not a math whiz. Definitely not a geometry whiz, that's for sure. Anyway, they are about 12 inches deep. I want to use these as a form of raised beds in my garden. I love the galvanized look. You see it everywhere with my stuff. And I like how it ages. I also like its permeability. And so I have 4 of these I have to build, and I'm going to place them in the garden. Now I don't know if I'm going to use all 4 this year. It depends on how my garden gets going and how many beds I actually try to make this year. Again, really trying to calm myself down and not go wee and try to do everything, because there's just no way that I can build, plant, design, and maintain in one summer everything. So I really have to just keep it to smaller beds that I know I might expand in the future, and that's the idea. So I might only be using 1 of these this year, but they're about $50, and I got them off of Amazon. And I'm really hoping that they work well. But once I start putting them together, I'll show you that, and then hopefully if you see them here in the garden, you'll recognize what they are. But it's just a fire ring, which means that it's just a ring of galvanized with a bottom that's open. So I can plant something in there, and those roots can really get down, and I can put perennials in it if I choose to. So again, it's part of that grand scheme of things, the grand plan. Now I have 4 of these to take downstairs, and they're not really light. I was just thinking, it's probably a good idea that it's slow here in Vermont to become spring, where you can plant and be outside digging. Because as soon as it starts getting a little bit nicer, you want to be outside. So you start doing foolish things like what I've just been doing. But because there isn't more foolish things for me to do that would cause me to have to go up and down stairs or go dig in the dirt, and it's like a slow beginning for a marathon. And I've just begun my training. Because, wow, that took a little bit out of me. Oh, this old age, I tell you. Good morning, everyone. It's me, Rebecca, and I'm here at Rivercrest Cottage outside. And it is March 31st, our very last day of March. And we actually have sunshine. In fact, we have absolutely clear, beautiful skies. But I have to tell you, these chairs have frost on them, so my bottom's getting a little bit chilled. And now, of course, to see my foibles and hopefully triumphs, maybe, in the garden is yet another aspect of opening myself up a little bit. And I am a bit of a perfectionist. I either do it all the way or I don't do it at all, and I only share it typically when it's successful. And I've always been that way, but this portion, this gardening portion, you're going to see if it's successful or not. You're going, I can't hide it. If I suddenly stop making videos, I'm probably going to tell you, it's been a horrible thing, it's awful, I'll show you the awful, and then that'll be the last of the videos, because I definitely don't need to be videoing for people to see, horrible gardening, but I'd like you to see the struggle that sometimes goes with it, too. So it is Easter weekend. My husband is coming up, and I'm very excited about that. Like I said, it's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous morning. The road's already getting a little bit busy. I can hear it, people going to and fro. And one thing I noticed, I think it was last weekend on Saturday, it was gorgeous like this as well. People in Vermont really, really love to get out, and we have had, a lot of gray days with either rain and or with snow. It's funny, there's still in the weather forecast, if you look it up 7 days from now, there's still a threat of possible snow. We are supposed to get up about to 50 today, and it doesn't really need to get much warmer than that. I am a sweater kind of girl, so that was very comfortable for me. Just bring me some sunshine, please. But what I've managed to be able to do in March so far, as you have seen, hopefully, because this is supposed to be a March wrap-up, is I've worked on my apple tree. I've been feeding the birds a lot. I haven't really shown that very much, and they are going through my seed like you wouldn't believe. But they've really returned, and I'm starting to hear the songs a lot more, all these signs. And just the other day, we had our first robins, and now we have quite a lot of robins coming in. And it's fantastic to see, because that really is a sign of seasons changing. And before our season completely changes over into spring, or we wax on about the fact that winter has been going for a long time, what I will say about it is what I feel with these seasons. I love when I get tired of a season and look forward to the next. And I do. I look forward to every season up here. And so the whole idea that, yes, we've been getting snow, it's been kind of gray, I can't get out in the garden. Well, you know what? It's because I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to relax a little bit longer, and I need to just let that happen and do some things slowly. Go with the times and go with the seasons, and that's what I'm learning. And Mother Nature is going to put her foot down and make sure that I do learn that. I mean, she really is. The other thing is that I have a couple little seedlings that I actually put in, and I have an idea what I might do with that a little bit more, but I'm going to see if it works. The end result won't be until the end of the season, really. And so what I want to do is show some of these seedlings as I'm putting them in, and then hopefully show them being planted out into the garden, and then them even more hopeful that they'll grow, and we'll be able to see what they look like. And then I want to put that all into one film, because just seeing the seedlings go in, that's an exciting part for a gardener, but it's not so visually riveting. Yeah. So you might want to see what they look like when they come out. So there's a couple I want to do that with. Again, if the experiment works, and my experiment is me gardening. It is not any one special thing. We're going to do some trimming on some of our other trees. We have some little knots. It's called black knot is on a couple of our cherry trees. I want to get that trimmed out and cleaned up, and then we have to actually burn that from everything that I've seen. We need to burn that wood that we cut out. And then we're going to get into Easter, and then in April some really great things are going to be happening. We have a whole week of doing a lot of work. I don't know how much of it I'll be able to video, but I definitely will show you the end result. But we have a week planned. I have my spring break, and my husband's coming up to help me, so hopefully we'll be able to get a lot of things done out in the garden. Sorry, a beautiful little dove just flew by. I'm very easily distracted, can you tell? So I wanted to tell everybody, thank you so much for even watching these and giving these a chance. It is possible in the future I'm going to split these out and eventually start up a second channel, the Rivercrest Cottage, but I want to make a few and see how it goes and see if it's something that I can keep up. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to stay here as the Booknester and just show you periodically what's going on, because that is who I am, and those are some of my books as well, just like with my coloring. So overall, my time between working full time and then also doing my coloring and my other hobbies, but also getting the house, the cottage ready for spring. I've been changing out things, and you start cleaning things, and then of course there's also the out here with the garden going on. So there's been a lot to divert my attention, and so that's one reason why my reading hasn't taken off as much. Being that in between, if it's nice at all, I want to be outside, and if it's not, a lot of times I'm planting the garden and reading books about that. And of course, those have been my major reading this month for March. So I think that's really a good little wrap up about what I've been doing. I'd love to hear how your March went, how you're feeling about, are your seasons already changed over, and are you delighting in the lovely, lovely spring, or are you more like me and it's kind of slowly making her appearance, but you just know by the end of May this is all going to be beautiful and green again, and which it's beautiful in its own way now. In fact, I'm going to do a quick little pan just so you can enjoy the sunshine on the mountains and on the trees. And I really have to say thank you so much for spending some time with me and for giving me an opportunity to share with you Rivercrest Cottage. So thank you for checking in to see what's going on down by the river here at Rivercrest Cottage.